What's going on, Gemini? How are you doing? Hope we're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be a reading for the remainder of July 2023. So, in this reading, Gemini, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the rest of the month. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides and so much more regarding the remainder of July 2023. Now, before we almost had a spit bubble. Before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, Gemini, and I really do appreciate you in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading happens to resonate with you, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here. But without further ado, I'm going to pull the energy and we'll see what wants to come through for you for the remainder of July 2023, Gemini. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Gemini. Yeah. See what we got going on here for you, Gemini. Okay. Well, pretty good energy. I actually do really like the energy here, but we'll see what's going on. So before we get into the tarot for the rest of July for you, we're going to start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe. And this is going to be the frequency that Spirit wants you to look at and wants you to just sit with for the rest of the month. Now, the first frequency Spirit wants you to look at and sit with is actually existence itself. So this card in traditional tarot is equivalent to the Magician, and it really has to do with potential. And you see this woman or this person sitting on this flower in the middle of space, like looking at the vastness of life itself. So yeah, don't be afraid to really look at your own human evolutionary potential within the grand scheme of the universe, or really to think big. See, this person is just kind of gazing out at the universe. So don't be afraid to kind of lift your feet off of the earth and really get deep and really try to remind yourself of, why did my soul choose to come here? Because every single one of you watching this, if you are an incarnated human, your soul did choose this body for a specific reason. Now, existence here is just really asking you to contemplate your own potential and the universe at large. We'll see what it ties into as we continue. But you also have the Rebel. So the universe wants you to sit with the Rebel. And the Rebel is actually equivalent in traditional tarot to the Emperor here. So this is about, in this deck, breaking free of control. You see how this particular Emperor called the Rebel, his feet are being free of the chains that bind him. So this actually calls you to look at some sort of radical masculine leadership in your life. For some of you here, you are going to have an opportunity to connect to kind of some sort of radical, powerful, masculine figure. This could definitely be in love for a lot of you. Or for a lot of you single Geminis out there, there is something about you thinking about being with someone who's very unconventional. Now, for most of you out there as well, this is just going to be about you thinking about, how can I rebel successfully in my life? How can I create a future that when I look at the universe, like almost like a frequency of be the change that you wish to see in the world. actually, Gemini is what's coming through. How can I be the change that I wish to see in the world through my own action? Because remember, the Emperor has to do with physicality. It has to do with boundaries, intelligence, really being a man. Now, because it's the Rebel, and it's a bit more of a Zen deck, what I would ask you to ask yourself the following question for July, and even extended beyond that. Are you moving through life going against things, or are you moving through life going what you're actually for? Because there's two very different frequencies. When it comes to rebellion, when it comes to being a true revolutionary and actually getting it successful instead of being torn down by the matrix, which we see happen to many individuals, is the key distinction is this. You have to be all about, this is what I'm for. This is what I stand for. This is what I'm moving to. Rather than, this is what I'm against. This is what I hate. And really emphasizing that hatred, emphasizing that negative side of things, because in this vibrational universe, what we all know is that what you resist, what persists. So, that's why I have all the love and respect in the world for people, some sort of real rogues. Like you look at someone like, I almost don't even want to drop this person's name, but like just picture the most like radical political person or radical person who like somehow ends up in jail. Well, usually it's because they're so focused on what they're against, they're trying to rebel against what they're against instead of just trying to rebel and being what you stand for, because those are two very different frequencies. Now, some of you are brushing under the rug, like, I get it, this is boring. No, you're not listening to me. You're not understanding if that's the case. But what I'm trying to say is Christ consciousness, which I'm a practitioner of, is all about free will. And you can be a rebellious leader in your own life by being what you're for rather than what you're against. Because I actually used to do this. Like I had an old YouTube channel that was everything I hated. It was like, this is why I hate this. This is why I hate that. All I did is attract negativity and drama into my life. So just be aware of that. Excuse me. Now, the last frequency that you need to look at is actually past lives. All right, so past lives. And I don't know why popping into my head right now, there's just a quote that like, lessons that are not learned here will be learned in other existences, so there's no rush. Don't beat yourself up. Now, past lives, you may be tapping into a past life skill, or you may be looking at what your past life skills are and what your soul wanted to do in this life, because there's usually a contrasting experience. Typically, the reason you incarnate into this body is to experience contrast and to experience something new, for example, to give you an example, I have had many past lives of being very spiritually well-equipped, let's just say that. And because of that, I've already mastered that, basically. And that's why I'm not going to be arrogant to I've already mastered that, but it's what I'm obsessed with. It's what I naturally gravitate to, spirituality, because I've had many past lives as a healer, just as many of you have. Now, just because that's my past life skill, usually you want to look to the opposite of that as to what your spirit is meant to really embody. For me, that's more of like being grounded. So I have a past life skill of just escaping into the spiritual, but my purpose in life, because that's my past life skill, is integrating the opposite of being grounded, practical, tangible results, physical appearance, money. And that's why I do tarot, because it integrates both, but even more so. So there's something about your past life skill, and I'm just getting, instead of doubling down on that past life skill, you're meant to use it, integrate it if you haven't yet, but you're then meant to integrate the opposite. I know we haven't even gotten to the tarot, but it's okay, because this is what's coming up for you in July. So if you want to look more into that, if you look at your birth chart, I know some of you don't do astrology, but look at your north node and your south node. Look that up. That will expand upon this frequency that I'm picking up on for you, past lives, because some of you may actually have had a pretty rough past life that's coming up to your life, or really, when we say past lives, it's really simultaneous parallel realities, because the only present moment is all that exists. But anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get into the tarot. Your opportunity, let me just say this as well. It seems like a lot of you, there's really, spirit is pushing you to the new friends and people. Your opportunity is the Six of Pentacles here. Gemini, when it comes to July, for the rest of July. Now, the first thing coming through is even give and exchange between people, creating a win-win scenario for yourself and other people. Now, there's also opportunity to give your greatest gift to the world, because the Six of Pentacles has to do with giving and receiving. And a lot of you, what this is about is actually, giving your past life skill to the world. And how do you know what your past life skill is if you don't want to look into the astrology or you don't really know? Well, usually you start off where you left off from. What cultures are you interested in? What naturally draws you in? What are you naturally good at? Why is there babies that are born at 3 years old and can play the piano like Mozart? Well, why? It's because they're picking off where they left off from. And there's something about you really utilizing that past life skill for good, but then also learning to balance the opposite of that past life skill to become whole and complete within yourself. Now, for others of you with the Six of Pentacles in your opportunity, something about, I don't know why I'm getting social relations, I do feel like there's going to be a lot of people entering into your life that will be an even give and exchange of value. That's your opportunity to connect with those people, and it's going to be some sort of harmony and new beginning. A lot of you, if you're single, I don't see you actually staying that way for long. I see there's a new opportunity in love. Most of you really don't see this coming, by the way. If you're a single Gemini, this is going to be a great month for love, but I do feel like a lot of you are still getting over someone, which may hold you back. Now, when it comes to your challenge this month, for the rest of this month, you have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups has to do with you being personally satisfied on a individual basis. It has to do with you feeling like all your ducks are in a row. Now, some of you here, what I'm getting very strongly is if you feel emotionally dissatisfied in your life, for some of you it is because you're relying on your past life skill too much, which will make you depressed. There's something here about personal emotional satisfaction may be challenging for you this month. Now, for a lot of you, it is because you're going to be pushing. I just get a lot of social activity, or I get also a new love coming into your life this month for the rest of the month that makes you feel like maybe you're giving yourself up because people want to sit here and talk about love as if it's the easiest thing in the world. The truth is, it's the hardest thing for anyone to do, to truly love someone. In order to truly love someone, you must take them as a part of yourself. You must put yourself in their shoes and then act according to the needs of the person. And that's really difficult, which is why relationships suck on Earth, but we're getting there. And so, I don't know, we're going to have to clarify why that's your challenge. I don't know why I keep getting that thing about your resting. For me, my past life skill is in Pisces, spirituality, right? But if I do that too much, I just escape and I don't go into the outside world, I don't become grounded, I will be very unhappy even if I'm utilizing what I'm meant to in my past life skill. So just something about that. Now, wow, when it comes to your overall general energy, there's a lot of upgrades. You know how I was saying to you 2023 in your yearly reading, I said 2023 Gemini is going to be the year of the curveball. It's going to be a year of complete change for you. And I really feel like now in the summer is when that really gets kicked up to a whole new level. You have the World, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and you also have the Queen of Cups in reverse when it comes to your overall general energy here. So there is something that's making you emotionally sort of unbalanced with the Queen of Cups being in reverse here. The Wheel of Fortune is major opportunity and destiny, and the World card has to do with an upgrade here. So a lot of you are actually going to be really, once again, with this existence card, looking into what is my destiny, how can my soul expand the most? And there's some sort of potent upgrade in your life, is what I'll say with this energy. You're going to be feeling very spiritual this month, but somehow it's very tied to emotions and people. We're going to have to see why that Queen of Cups is here in reverse. There could be a past life relationship, what frequency you need to focus on past lives, and Wheel of Fortune has to do with destiny, past life relationships. For a lot of you, there's a past life relationship coming in that's going to make you feel very uncomfortable because it could bring up things either from your past in this life or memories or some triggers, this person killed you in a past life. I'm not going to get too esoteric, but here's the thing. When it comes to what you don't see coming, beautiful energy, but it's weird because you have the this is what you don't see coming. You have the High Priestess in reverse. You have the Fool, and you also have the Knight of Cups. There's definitely new love and new good feelings coming into your life, a completely new adventure starting fresh here. Some of you actually are going to have the opportunity to rewrite your destiny or to like learn where you messed up and go in and buff out those scratches. But with the High Priestess in reverse here, when it comes to what you don't see coming, the first thing that came to mind is like the High Priestess upright is like you're in tune with your intuition. You see all the timelines. It's mysterious, but you get a grip on it. For something, Spirit's like keeping something from you, and you really don't see this one coming. Like you meet someone out of the blue, or you're walking somewhere, you cross eyes with someone, and you just know. Like, have you ever heard and this could have to do with the original prediction of Curveball. You have no idea who you're going to be with this year. Have you ever heard those stories of people like are in public, they've never met each other, they lock eyes, and they just know that they're going to be married like for the rest of their lives? Like, to a lesser degree, probably for most of you, that's something, or maybe you're just going to meet someone, you're like, we're going to date. You know, for those single people, love is going to be abundant, but the universe is keeping it hidden from you for some sort of reason. It could be keeping it hidden from you because when you've been given hits of intuition in the past, it ruined it. So it has to keep it under wraps. But a very mysterious new beginning is happening for you in love. Now, the reason I say that as well, for me, this could be friends groups. For a lot of you, this is intimacy if you're single. When it comes to your advice, you have the Three of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups, and you have the Star. This is renewal in relationships. This is new. You know, the Ace of Cups is new. This is your advice. You know, make new friends. A lot of stale energy is going to be leaving your life in terms of interpersonal relationships. I also do feel, Gemini, that whoever you meet in love for the rest of July, whoever you're talking to, whatever's developing, they're going to introduce you to new people as well. There's something about that. Now, the Star also says make a wish. And because you have existence and rebel, the Emperor is what you're meant to really focus on. It's like, go out into nature and really ask, how can I serve the universe, okay? And how can I serve myself as well? And this says make a wish for your future, but I do get that you're going to have an opportunity to really be in I don't get a lot of drama with people, actually. Like, the thing is, in this reading, I don't get any drama with new people. If you're going to meet new people, I get harmonious relationships. But I don't know why that Queen of Cups is in reverse and the Nine of Cups is in your challenge. That's emotional difficulty, right? So, I don't know. Also, okay. I do have to just say this before we get into the clarification portion. Remember I told you last reading I did for you, if you recall, for the returning viewers, it was all about how, like, look at it from the bright side. What if everything that went bad in your life is happening for a highest reason? It was meant to all happen. It was meant to all fall apart, blah, blah, blah. I think this month, for the rest of this month, you're actually meant to look at, like, harder truths. Like, how did you mess up? And for those of you that advance can understand this, how did leaning into your past life skill ruin your life in this life, you know? Because that's actually what I feel. Like, there's some sort of talent that a lot of you have been leaning into, but you're really meant to integrate that talent and develop the opposite, more of like a south node thing or a north node thing, what you're aiming for, a mission statement. You know what I'm saying? I hope. So yeah, let's see why the Nine of Cups is here in your challenge. Hold on, why would that be here? Let's see. Alright, the Nine of Cups in your challenge is clarified by the Queen of Wands, the Sun, and also the Three of Wands here in your challenge here. Okay, so this is a lot of clarity and passion. The Sun has to do with happiness. The Queen of Pentacles has to do with passion, the Queen of Wands, not caring what people think of you, intimacy, like good sexual things. But because it's in your challenge, you may feel like a slight lack of passion in your life because you're waiting for something to happen. Three of Wands is here. It might actually be hard for you to remain optimistic. You know, the Sun has to do with optimism, looking at things from the bright side. And I just feel, I do feel like if you try to lean into some things that you've already had success with, it's not going to go good for you. We're going to have to see as we continue here. But there could also be something that, well, yeah, with the Nine of Cups here in your challenge, clarified by the Sun, the Queen of Wands, and the Three of Wands, there could be for some of you, you could engage in some sort of like sexual activity that feels good in the moment, but then it actually drains you and it sets you back. Like it leaves you in this Three of Wands frequency of like, well, that was great, but now what? Now we're just still stuck in the same loop. So try not to escape your life through sex, and really try to protect that energy this month. I don't know why I'm being called to say like protect your sexual energy, don't drain it, because the more you hold on to that sexual energy, the more, for me at least, like the more I feel connected to the universe in a certain way. So let's also clarify why the Six of Pentacles is here in your opportunity. Let's see. The Six of Pentacles in your opportunity is clarified by the Empress, the Page of Pentacles, and also the Death card here when it comes to your opportunity here. So I feel like there's a transformation in the way that you actually relate to abundance here. Okay, the Empress has to do with abundance, fertility. Page of Pentacles is like doing the dirty work in a career, or it's something to do with like getting yourself going. The Empress is like usually someone who could actually like employ the Page of Pentacles, or it's like this could be the mother to the Page of Pentacles from a certain perspective. So for a lot of you, if you're a parent, this could have to do with the way that you give money to your child, or the way that you give and receive with your child needs to transform. Whereas if you have children and you constantly give to them, you are going to run the risk of creating a spoiled brat with your children. Remember I told you something with destiny and your children in the beginning of this year? If you have children, you may want to relate, you may want to give them like an opportunity to create abundance for themselves, because if you just give everything to them, or you make something about children and that, look at that. If this is not to do with children, then I do feel like there is going to be, the Death card has to do with transformation, deep change that you may be a little bit resistant to. The Empress has to do with abundance, clarifying the Six of Pentacles having to do with giving, receiving your gift, and harmonious relations. So I do feel the way in which that you are giving your greatest gift to the world, how do you add to the depth of the universe, is actually transforming at this time. And because you have past lives, rebel, and existence as to what you need to really sit with this month, I really do, I know I keep sounding like a broken record, or maybe not, but I really feel like instead of doubling down on your past life skill that probably you needed to for a period of time, it's actually time to develop your North Node, or the thing that is opposite to your past life skill. So whatever you're naturally good at this month, start to look at the opposite. If you're great at being independent, if you're great at holding a career down, you can make as much money as you want, you're really great at it, but then you have no relationships and no family, it's like, go back to the family. So it's like, if your North Node, if your past life skill is in Capricorn, great at career success, climbing the ladder, making money, then go to Cancer. Right? For me, my past life skill is in Pisces, spirituality, all the mysticism you can handle. What I need to go to is actually Virgo. Daily routines, practical, integrating the spiritual with the practical. So I'm really telling you to be aware of that, because it's very crucial for you. You don't even need to know about the nodes and astrology, just really tune into yourself. Although I would advise it, but So I don't know. Let's see why the Wheel of Fortune is here in your overall general energy as well. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and also the Ten of Cups. Wow. So yeah, there's the way, once again, it's more of a reiteration of what I'm saying here. Some of you actually may be connecting to an earth sign in love. There could be an earth sign in love coming in for you. Okay, it doesn't have to be, but clearly there's a clear knowledge that something is ending. Like a phase of your life is over. The Ten of Wands has to do with an ending. It's like a burden coming to an end. Ten of Cups has to do also with an ending, but it's like a happily ever after ending. So clarity, there could be a complete lifeline shift that you're aware of that once again has to do with your service or your gift or your giving, because your opportunity is the Six of Pentacles and all this is going on. So you may really just do a complete 180 in your own values, like looking at like what are your 4 pillars in your life? Like what is the most important thing for you? Like authenticity, excellence, or is it things like being loyal to the ones you love? Like whatever your current values are, I really feel like you know that those values are switching and it's for a higher spiritual reason. All right. So, and that's probably why you're feeling like, oh God, here we go. Like Queen of Cups in reverse, right? Now I actually am being called, Spirit saying, don't go too deep into this. For a lot of you, there's a new love coming into your life that will help you develop these skills that are meant to be developed in you now. So moving away from the past life, or if you haven't even integrated the past life, because that's step 1, do that first. But then most of you are moving on to step 2 now. And like there's a new love coming into your life that will be a result of this. Remember, this is your advice. The Star, the Ace of Cups, make a wish about new positive emotions and connections into your life. What I'll leave you with is this, Gemini. The best days of your life have not happened yet, because the best days of your life come when you really contemplate the universe and you move towards what you're for instead of what you're against. That will change the quality of your life beyond measure. So if you just literally took that from this reading, then that would be great. But with that being said, this will not be a boring month for you. It may be an emotional roller coaster, but any negative emotion that you're experiencing will be replaced with people. It's not something like you're just going to have to sit by yourself the whole month. So with that being said, I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of July, and I'll talk to you next.